Good evening. It is Monday.
Good evening.
It's Monday.
It is Monday.
Welcome to Monday. Welcome.
Good evening. We are glad that you have joined us on this Monday evening.
Yes, we are.
Another day, beautiful day, and we are glad to be here with you on this Monday.
Yes.
All right.
So glad that you joined us, and we're just happy that this is our 14th session. Can you believe it?
Wow.
14. This is number 14.
Time is moving so
yes, it
fast.
is. Yes,
14.
it is. So much has happened within those last 14 weeks.
Yes,
so much has gone on.
Has
and
happened.
we are just grateful to God for everything that he's doing and what he's gonna do and everything. As I tell you, well, it's Monday, and we're just excited, and we're just gonna give it just a few minutes so that people can join in with us. We just want you to come on in, and we're gonna connect with our conference line callers and just have a great time tonight. We're gonna be having a great time. We want your feedback. We want to hear from you. So just join in and tell somebody else to join in, because we're dealing with anger again tonight. Anger is real. It's real, isn't it?
Anger. We're gonna talk a little about anger. Some say anger, some say just mad. All right, but it's all the same thing. Being angry, just being mad. So we are just happy to be here tonight, to be able to share with you and to just have a conversation. That we can be able to hopefully say something that can help someone that may be dealing with this anger.
That's right.
Anger has destroyed a lot of people. Many people have been destroyed, and that's the reason you have a lot of people in jail today.
Wow.
Because of anger. Not only in jail, but in the grave.
In the grave, I'm sure going to say that.
All because of anger.
Anger,
It really can cause some issues, and it has, and it's continually causing issues in the lives of men and women, and boys and girls. Just angry and being angry certainly can cause a lot of problems. So we want to just kind of talk a little about dealing with anger. Handle your anger. Manage your anger. Don't sweep it under the rug.
No.
But deal with it. You have to deal with your anger.
That's right.
Have to deal with it. It has to be dealt with.
It's important. Let's go before God in prayer. Before we get started, we want you to please tell your friends about this session. We want people to know this is some good information to share with others. We had a great conversations on last week. We're going to continue on. So we're going to go before the Lord in prayer. We're on Instagram under Swanigan Inspiration, and we're on Facebook Live. So we're just glad to be here, glad that you're here. And we're also on our conference line as well on 314-356-2829. So we're glad to have you here tonight with us.
Father, we thank you for this time to come before you one more time. We thank you, Lord God, for blessing us to see this day. Lord, as we come, we ask you to look upon us, Lord, and look upon your people, those that are listening, God, and those that are watching. We ask that, oh God, that they would get out of it what they're looking for, God, and that you would bless us and help us tonight. Oh God, be our God, Lord, and bless your people right now as we speak, Lord, to the people of God. In Jesus' name, whoever may be listening, that they may be helped and delivered. In the name of the Lord we pray. Yes, that we will say the right thing for the right moment. In the name of the Lord. Amen.
If we happen to lose connection, you can always feel free to join us on our conference line. That's 314-356-2829. If we happen to lose connection on the internet, because we know that sometimes we lose connection, but we are continuing on our conference line. So we're just glad to have you here with us tonight. Yes. So certainly I tell you,
happy about it. This is certainly something that I believe we all deal with it from time to time. Everyone is challenged with dealing with anger for one reason or another. Everybody's not the same, but everybody deals with anger. Be it whatever the case may be. Some deal with it with their spouse. Some deal with it with their bosses. Some deal with it with their pastor. Just all. Everybody deals with anger with their brother and sister, or whatever the case. We deal with anger. But it's not about that. It's how you handle your anger. How do you handle and how do you deal with your anger? It's something about, especially when we look at couples, husband and wife, once you really know that your anger is gone way left field, it's when it gets physical.
Wow.
Now
it doesn't have to get that
that's
far
what I'm
before
saying.
you know.
Once you get there, you
way
know.
Before then.
You should know.
Right.
But once you get to that point, that's the pinnacle.
Oh yes.
That's the pinnacle of your anger.
That's right.
When you begin to verbal abuse is one thing, but when you physically go to abusing one another, that's a whole different. You don't reach the top of the line.
Yes.
So but we want to cut it off before it get to that point. It can escalate and it can go fast to that point.
Wow, it can really
But you
fast.
Want to try to keep it from getting to that point.
Contain it.
Yes, try to contain it and deal with it before it get to that point. It will get there, but we have to stop it before we get there, that we can have peace. Peace.
Yes.
I believe there's no one that would rather have anger than have peace. I don't think no one would. I don't think there's no one.
That's not a desired emotion.
No one would. I want to be angry and mad all. No, that's not a person that's thinking clearly. To say something of that nature. No, we want to be at peace. We don't want to be mad and angry, walking around frustrated and upset. No, we don't want that. But we want to try to do what all we can that we can keep peace of mind.
Keep peace.
Peace of mind is more valuable than the money that you have. Peace of mind.
Yes.
Because it helps you to think clear. When you're angry, you don't think clear. It clouds your thinking when you get angry and you're highly upset. It clouds your anger. You do things, you say things, you act in ways that you normally wouldn't act or say or do.
Yes.
But because of anger.
And what are some signs of anger? When a person is angry, we were looking towards, we've been studying, so we saw some signs of that you could know when a person's angry. They don't always have to talk to let you know that they're angry or upset. It's not always just verbal, but there's some physical signs as well. Some physical signs that go along with, and we're just going to read a few of them off. Once on the inside, something happens on the inside of your body. A lot happens on the inside of your body.
Yeah, anger can have. It said anger can have a physical reaction to your body. A rapid heartbeat. When you get angry, your heartbeat gets faster. Boom, boom, boom. Like it may feel like it's gonna bounce out of your chest.
Wow.
You know you're angry.
You know you're upset. Yes.
Then you breathe hard, fast breathing.
Right.
You know how every one of us know how it goes when we get angry.
Wow.
When we really get angry, everything changes. Everything changes. Then you all tensed and actually you may say you're ready for the fight.
Oh wow. Your body's getting ready. That's what's happening. Your body is getting ready.
It really is. It is. And then
fight or flight.
Pacing or tapping your feet. That's another somebody's
clicking on stuff.
Yes, and clicking on things.
Yes.
That's and clenching your fist. Oh Lord. Clenching your jaw.
Gritting your teeth.
Yeah, that lets you know it's getting ready to be on. It's popping.
Wow.
Some people are talking about how some people go to trembling. They get upset. They just go to trembling.
Wow.
We don't want to have to get to that point because anger can physically abuse you. It can physically cause you, abuse. Yes, it can affect you. It can affect you, and that's something that we want to try and control.
Yes.
I believe we would rather be happy than angry.
Oh, absolutely.
Anybody in the right mind would rather be happy than to be angry.
The Bible says that anger, it rests in the bosom of a fool. So no one wants to be angry. It's an emotion that overtakes you and comes and attacks you at a time that you must keep control. Control must be your best friend. You must maintain and keep a control, or it will take you further than what you planned. That's so true. It takes you further than you planned.
Yes, we always have to try and do all that we can to try and control the anger. Yes, it is powerful. Anger can be powerful. Now let's even look. We have to keep the scripture alive in this as well. Must keep it. The Bible said, "Be angry, but sin not."
Okay. So it's okay to be angry.
Angry is one thing. The anger may come.
Okay.
But what do you do once you get angry?
Wow.
Then what?
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Then what am I going to do once I'm angry?
Well,
Huh?
yes.
Do I get the bat?
It's a lot of physicalness here.
Then do we get the shoe? Do we get the glasses? Do we get the, what do we get, the pots and the pan? What are we going to do once we get angry?
Right.
You can be angry and just sit in one spot.
Yeah.
And be just as angry. You don't have to say nothing to nobody. You don't have to do anything. But you can be angry.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't have to go to the left field with it.
Right.
Anger will love to take over you.
Right.
And to cause you to do things and say things sometimes that even I'm sorry may not cure it.
Might not cure it.
But that's what we have to stop and think. We got to think. You better think about what you're doing to me. Oh, okay.
Yes.
So we have to stop and think first.
Think.
Pause. Take a minute and pause. It says even if you getting angry, feel yourself getting angry, it says stop and count to 10. Just stop and count.
It says, yes.
Now, when you're too angry, you can't count to 10. You don't went
count to
overboard. 10. You're overboard. But stop and think about what you're getting ready to say.
Yes.
Try and think. Yes.
You can go so far that you're like, you know what? You're sitting in a jail. You're like, I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to go that far. I'm sure there's lots of people in jail, in the hospital, or maybe even dead, and saying, you know, I didn't mean for it to go that far. You know, I didn't plan for it to go that far, but it just happened. You know,
it just happened.
That's something.
But it's anger that caused that to happen. Mm-hmm. If we can think before we act. Sometimes people just react. Once anger hits, they just react and don't give no thoughts about what they're doing. Right. And they lose all self-control. Wow. And when they lose self-control, they say things and do things that really cause them problems. A few minutes later, then they realize, wow, why did I do that? Wow. I mean, I know I was mad. He made me mad. She made me. They made me. But then they stop and think. And actually just said, people said, well, I really didn't have to do that.
Yeah, I didn't have to go that far.
I didn't have to go there. I didn't mean to go that far.
Wow.
I really didn't mean to do all of that. But anger.
Wow.
If we don't control our anger will control us.
You sure said it. You said it.
If we don't control our anger, our anger will control us.
That's right.
And that's when it calls us to do things that we really don't want to do. No. We really didn't want to do in our right mind. Right. We never would have did that.
Because it's a temporary insanity. It's temporary insanity.
Wow.
That's what anger, it takes you to a temporary disconnection of who you really are. You're temporarily not yourself. You're temporarily. That's why we're trying to give you these clues of counting to 10. You know, go to take a short walk. Yeah, that's another thing you can do. Just you know, it's best that if you really want it, if you're thinking of physical things that hurt another person, if you're thinking of hurting someone, you need to get out of that environment. It just, you know, pray, ask God to help you, ask God to control your strength and to control what your thoughts are, and you take deep breaths and ask God, the Lord, help me to draw this back, because I don't want to act out. I don't want to lose control. I don't want to do anything or say anything that is not pleasing in your sight. You know, so you need to do things. If you're that angry, you need to remove yourself from that area, from that room. And then, you know, for those of you that constantly want person, no, come back. Come on, let's talk about this. No, we're going to talk about this.
Lord.
Ring, ring, ring. You hit some bells here. No, for the ladies or men, whoever. It doesn't have to be a lady. Whoever.
Right.
I just, no, we want to talk about this. Yes, some things need to be talked out. But there's a timing for all things. Don't get your head knocked off. Gotta talk about it. Oh, I gotta talk about this. No, we talking about this.
If that person would even say, this is kind of getting out of control, let me go for a short walk. No, don't go and block the door.
No, we gonna talk now. We gonna talk.
You gonna go there, block the front door, don't let them out the door. No,
take their keys.
All they got. Let me go for a drive. Let me go for a drive. No,
I'm taking their keys.
Stand in front of the car.
So, okay, now we got a little confession time. When we were younger, look, you remember that time? We were younger. I wanted to talk about it now. I want to talk about it. I said, no, he needs a little time to cool off. No, I'm blocking the car. No, I'm blocking the car. He said, I'm going to take a ride. So I get in my car. He's in his car ahead of me, and I'm in my car behind him. Then he wouldn't stop. I'm blowing the horn, and I start hitting it. Did I hit the car?
Yeah.
Oh, God, Lord,
ran
forgive
into
me.
the back of my car.
Hitting the car. Now, you're causing double damage.
Right.
It was insane. I was a teenager, okay? Now, I was young and foolish, because now we got damage between us.
Yes.
And damage between the vehicle that we got to get
Right. Now what?
Oh my God. Hitting each other car. And my husband's trying to get away. And I'm like, no, we talking about this. I want to talk about this now. We going to talk about this now. And, you know, sometimes you really need to just let it rest. Just
things can escalate.
Yes.
But since we're going to talk about things can escalate to really get harmful.
Yeah.
I recall one time when my wife and I we moved in with her mom and dad.
Yes.
Yep. Been there, done that too, brothers and sisters. Been there, done that. We moved in with her mom and dad. Yes, saved up our own house, but we moved in with her mom and dad. We were living in their basement. We had their basement. And I don't know what we got to fussing and feuding about. We fussing and feuding. I don't know what it was.
Yes.
But we're just in the basement talking. Then all of a sudden, I remember pushing her into the wall.
Telling me to get out the way.
I said, just get back. No, let me just leave. Just move out the way. Let me leave.
No.
I pushed her into the wall and knocked.
And the wall gave in.
We knocked the hole in the
I wasn't hurt. It wasn't hard. Right. It wasn't like he was physically doing anything. I mean,
drywall.
But we've been there too, so we're both guilty. So it was a drywall that went through the wall
and pushed her through the wall.
We were like, oh my God, I did not know this wall was gonna give in.
Because anger calls you to go somewhere that you don't want to go.
But and immediately he was like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, I'm okay. I'm like, we didn't know this wall. We're like, oh, they hadn't even got home.
Right.
I think it was a Sunday.
Church, yeah.
We just got out of church clowning right after church.
Right after church.
Clowning. It happens. To be honest, it happens. We're here to try to be transparent, to try to help someone else not to go through the woes and the pains that we've been through. Now, we've been through some stuff, so I'm so glad we don't look like what we've been through.
My God. Your back would be broke, my head would be
That's right.
We done dealt with all that. We've been there, done all that type of thing.
I remember we ran to the repair store, got some tape and plaster and another piece of drywall. We fixed that up. Fixed the hole.
They never, maybe later on down the year.
Maybe we may have shared it with them.
Maybe shared, may not. But anyway, it's something that we experience. It's because of anger. Anger will cause you to do things that you're really not intending to do.
It was not intended to go that far. I just wanted to say, he said, move out the way, move, girl, move. And it's just like, whoa. But we can laugh about it now. We can laugh about it now. And it's like, oh, he's abusive. No, it's just something that, because he didn't push me that hard, but because I was a big girl, I went through. It was like, whoa. I went through that wall. I remember another anger point that it had nothing to do with our relationship. I was fine leaving home, and I went to McDonald's. And this is when bagels first came out at McDonald's. And I went there, and I said every morning I was going there and getting a bagel every morning. And then they started, because they gave you cream cheese. So then they started charging. Our McDonald's started charging for the cream cheese. And I said, okay, well, it was 52 cents. So I remember getting the change and giving it to the lady. Well, the next day, I had a couple because sometimes you know how they grab a whole handful and give you a whole lot. Well, one day they gave me a whole lot. So the next day when I went there, I didn't need any. I didn't need any cream cheese. So the woman, she was like ready for me. She knew I was coming that day, and she was ready for me. So she came to the window, and I didn't need a cream cheese that day. And she gave me the cream cheese anyway and said, here's your cream cheese. Today, I'm going to give it to you. I'm just going to give it to you. But you don't have to pay it for it, but you're not going to get it free anymore. Just had a bad head. I'm like, where'd this come from? It was like she was ready for me and wanted me, I said, I don't need the cream cheese, ma'am. Here's the cream cheese back. So then she starts saying, move. My line is getting longer. You need to move. I'm like, I'm trying to give you my cream cheese back. And she's like, move, move. She wouldn't even open the window, just trying to get me out of the way. I'm like, wait a minute now. This is just, wait a minute. I said, anger started rising up. I said, open that window. Open that window.
Wow.
She opened the window. she had a little attitude when she opened the window. And I said, she finally opened the window. What is it that you want? You got your free cream cheese. I said, I do not need a cream cheese. I am fine. I don't need it. I don't need it. She said, well, I'm giving it to you. I'm giving it to you. I said, and I just got angry because it was like, I don't know, it just thoughts start going through my mind. You all know this. I took the cream cheese. I said, you can have this cream cheese.
Threw the cream cheese at
Threw the cream cheese at the lady. I felt so bad. I'm confessing now. I feel so bad. Forgive me, Lord. And she's like, she's throwing cream cheese at me. She's throwing cream cheese. So about a month later, because I didn't go for about a month. I'm going. I didn't want them to get me and lock me up. This was so long ago. So I didn't go for about a month. So this time when I went, I said, I'm going in. So somebody through the drive-thru was having a challenge with this same lady. Wow. The manager literally said, you better just go ahead and give it to the customer. You don't want any cream cheese thrown at you again. I said, they talking about me. The whole team started laughing. It was so funny, but it was a split-minute anger because she pushed buttons, said things that like she was patronizing me, like I'm giving it to you. Aren't you happy? And I'm just like, you know what? And I just threw that cream cheese, aiming at her head. But anger, I could have got arrested for that.
Yeah.
You know, had I really, hurt her or maybe hit her in the eye or things happen and you go further than you plan.
Yes.
That's why, I should have just drove on away from that and just said, you know what? I just chalked that up to her ignorance or whatever. But she made me act different that day.
So that's what you have dealing with anger.
Oh my
We do things that we really don't plan on doing. We don't really plan on doing it, but it happens. In a spare of a moment, your anger can take you somewhere that you didn't plan on going. People get up in the morning. Some people in jail tonight, but this morning they may have shot somebody. They didn't plan on doing that.
They didn't plan on using that gun.
But things happen. But we got to be able to recognize when anger is beginning to build up in our mind.
Yes.
When the anger and when things come our way, and things just don't all of a sudden sometimes happen. Sometimes it does, sometimes it don't. But we have to be aware of ourselves. You better know you. Wow. You better know something about you. You better know what push your button.
Yes.
You better know what push your button. You can tell when something really bothers you or when something push your button. You better know that so when that time comes and you get to that point.
Right. Because it's like childhood words that can upset you too.
Yes.
Some of us heard words so much as a child that when you hear it as an adult, you're like, you ain't gonna say that to me. Like when I was growing up, you're not gonna treat me that way. And when you got to know what those words are.
Yeah.
So when you hear those words, it won't drive you to the point of no return.
Yes.
It won't drive you to the point further than what you planned on going. Now it was a word that I used to hear always growing up. Calm down. Now, why would my dad say that? I don't know.
Right. I have no idea.
This is confession night. Confession. We're on night 14, so you all know us now, right? You all know us now. He would say, "Calm down. We love you. We see you." And we know you're here. So calm down. Oh, I would get so as an adult, hearing that, it make my head spin around. And it's not intended, but there's some key words that you've heard as a child. Maybe in broken relationships, maybe somebody said something to you that was like very offensive, that was very, said things. And now when you hear from someone else, you're like, you're not going to treat me like that. You're not going to say that. That's when you hear that word. That's when you have to just... Lord, help me, Jesus. Help me, God. Help me, Lord. Help me to rewind. Let me unwind, God. Because it's real. It will take you there. Even smells will take you to certain places and just seeing certain things or maybe hearing people say things. It can take you there. Right. But you have to control it. Now when I hear those terms, I calm down and I laugh now. So sometimes it's an on-purpose laugh. It may not be a real laugh, but I'm like, I've heard. Take me there. You're not going to make me angry. You're not going to get me bitter and upset and frustrated. because that word you hear.
Whatever you can do to help your anger.
Yes.
You may have to call a friend or call someone and say, hey, listen, I just need somebody to talk to. Yeah. If somebody don't block your phone.
Right.
But if you can call a friend or call someone and talk to someone, speak to someone that's going to help you through the situation, that it don't escalate into something that you will both regret later on.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes you hear things in second marriages. Sometimes people may have second marriage, and sometimes they hear the thing that she was just saying. She would hear her dad would say. That second marriage may be where you heard things the first marriage said, and that just kind of take you over there. That's where we got to be able to control our anger.
So true.
Control yourself, because if you messed up the first time, you're going to mess up something else.
It's just got another name.
You got to control that anger. But at the end of the day, we all got to be able to recognize our own anger. I recognize her, but do I recognize mine?
Right.
Yeah, I can recognize her, but do I recognize my anger when I'm getting angry?
Right.
Oh, yeah, her nose starting to twitch, or her eyes starting to bat. But what do you do when you start to get angry?
Right.
You got to feel you got to be able to feel what's going on in you.
Right.
Because you're the one getting ready to mess up.
Because
you done allowed your anger to cross the line. Mm-hmm. Don't allow your anger to cross the line.
Right.
Go for a walk. And if you're the one that's causing them to be angry, allow them to go for a walk.
Let them go for a walk. Don't go through the wall, okay?
No, allow them to walk
out. Don't go through the wall. Look.
Just remember, they'll be back.
That's right.
They'll be back. I will be back.
Right.
I ain't leaving now. I shall return. So no, let them go on out and take a walk or whatever they got to do in order to cool off. So when they come back, you be done had time to think, and they be done had time to think.
Right.
That way you both be done had time to think and to cool off, and then just okay. Get a little breather.
Right.
That way that when they come back, you won't still have that same anger. It'll give you time to think. You say, okay, let's look at this now. Let's just really look at this, because it's really not necessary. And sometimes husband's wife, the anger, sometimes the making up is all right. Sometimes the making up, okay, so you'll feel different sometimes when after you've come over all of that. Oh wow, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did that. You can be, but before it gets to the point of no return.
Yes.
You have to recognize your anger, and recognize you got a problem.
Right. That was a good point you brought up. You recognize mine. I recognize. It's good when you can help your mate if you have one, or your child. Maybe you have a child that has anger issues, that they'll fall out on the floor. Have ang bangs, or maybe they just start breathing really heavily and just getting. You may have a child that can't control that anger. You can help that child by ending that conversation. We're going to talk about this tomorrow. Let's deal with this a little bit later on, or with little sweetie, we got to deal with this. This is something we got to deal with. Or give them a warning and say, you know what, tonight we're going to talk about A, B, and C. We'll leave D alone for right now.
Right.
But, kind of give them, some people need a little warning. Everybody can't take things spontaneous. True. Sometimes you can help your mate, your child, your boss, or whoever, because they can just all of a sudden become explosive. And that's what it's called, becoming explosive.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be that button pusher that makes that person. So this is not just for marriage. This is for everybody, because everybody has anger at some point or another. But we just handle it differently. And we handle it a little differently. But we can help one another by noticing, this is too much. I shouldn't say this. I better be quiet. I better shut it down. I better, kind of calm it down.
And that's where you got to be able to help one another, along with maybe helping yourself as well. Now, if you see the signs on him or her, it's time to back up.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to push nobody overboard. Because at the end of the day, you may end up getting the brunt of the
That's
anger.
True. That's so true.
You may just happen.
Right.
But even sometimes I know we can pray and we can do things, but there are people out here that can help you as well.
Right.
Don't ever be so proudful. That's the word.
Yes.
Don't ever be so proudful to feel like I can handle this. Right. I'm angry every other night. I'm mad and upset and angry, but I can handle this.
Right.
You're kicking the cat and biting the rabbit and all this kind of stuff, doing all this stuff. Don't be so proud that you can't go and get some help.
Right.
There's people out here that can help you if you need it.
Get it. Get the help. Because that's the pressure. You're aging yourself.
Yes.
You're aging yourself faster than what if you're constantly angry. And for those that are, there's a lot of women that are angry out there that are like maybe scratching up men, scratching up, doing things that so that you could tell I may not have won the fight, but you sure know you've been in one.
Right.
Scratching up men and then they can't come out. They got to put makeup on top of it to hide the scars and hide that's so real. That is so real.
Yes, exactly.
Ladies, you need help. If you're doing that and you can't control yourself, you need to get some help, get some relief. You'll feel so much better if you take care of yourself. You won't age as much. You won't feel that heaviness on your chest.
Right.
You won't feel that anxiety, that anxiousness and anxiety. You won't feel all of that. But you have to control that by being one to when you feel that coming on you, men, if you got to move out the way, run, do that. Get out of the way. Because you don't want her scratching your face up. You don't want her scratching your body and hurting them, messing you up and things, and everybody looking at you like, man, you been in a fight? What happened to your face? Dog, she didn't really.
She told you up, didn't she? She told you up, didn't she, dog?
That's the end of that one, didn't she? We're laughing, but it's so real.
It is.
It's not always the man that's beating the woman. Sometimes that woman is beating that man.
Yeah.
And that's not right.
It goes
both ways. Men, you got to protect yourselves. Women, you have to protect yourselves. And that's not a healthy relationship to be in if that is how you're treating one another.
Yeah.
Even the verbal abuse.
Yes.
Even verbal abuse. That's not healthy. It's not a healthy environment. Something's not connected right. Something's just not, there's something in your heart that is just, that's causing you to say hurtful things that you're just something that you need to go get mended. Go get some repair, some love to yourself, some self-love. Because if I'm saying things that I know that's going to push buttons and hurt you, then there's something's wrong with me.
That's true.
Something's not right with me. Something's not connected properly.
Right. That ain't love. That's not. I love you, but no. Now they said love don't hurt. Well, it don't. You don't intentionally hurt nobody. No.
What I say, love is risky. It's risky.
You take a chance on love. Love can be
risky.
dangerous.
Yes. Love is risky business.
Yeah,
it's risky because you're taking the risk to love that person enough to give them your heart.
And you may end up get hurt sometime. And sometimes you may get hurt, but it may not get killed, but you'll get hurt. But you can make it. You can make it through the hurt.
Right.
You can go through the pain and you can make it through the hurt.
Yes.
But when you get to the point where you have to abuse each other, it's really time to seek help.
Yes.
It's time to seek some help.
And
go
maybe
somewhere
take a
and talk
break.
to some. Yeah, take it's okay.
Yeah.
Not talking about I'm going to divorce court. That's such a quick thing to do. Quick fix, so we think. But what do?
Yeah.
We leave this crazy and get to crazier.
Yes.
Wow.
And I didn't know
that's right. What I just left was crazy. You worse than that.
You worse. Like I know this crazy and he knows this crazy.
Right.
But I get somebody new. You get somebody new. You don't know that crazy. And she may be much further.
Trust yourself. They crazy too. May not be on the same level of crazy. Right. But you get in there, you'll find out, wow, yeah, you crazy too. I knew my other one was crazy, but I found out you crazy too. Well, you find out yourself crazy. You gotta.
That's it.
Stop always making it look like somebody else is the problem.
Right. And
stop looking at knowledge. Acknowledge the man in the mirror. That he's got issues too. Right. Everybody got you got an issue. Yeah, but you need to be able to handle your anger.
So true.
You need to be able to handle can't nobody handle your anger for you. No. You got to be able to handle your anger. And whatever you got to do in order to really keep it from getting physical, do what you have to do. Right. Go for a walk. Set off to yourself.
Yeah.
Tell her, excuse me, right now I feel myself getting to this point and just chill, okay?
So how many times should you forgive a person if they've done something, or really hurt someone and, maybe that was the way we fought all the time. How many times should that person forgive that person and move forward or get back together? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, if it's a biblical thought, we can...
It goes once. Oh, No, the Bible says 7 times 70.
The Bible thought it was 7 times 70 a day.
But it doesn't expect for us to accept abuse. I just don't believe God expects for us to accept. You stay there and get that 770 something.
When he comes to 7, after that 7 times 70, then the next time.
No. No,
I'd have gave you 7 times 70.
Right.
Now, one more time. We done went to
okay, forgive.
The rope now.
Yes, I'm forgiving. But if you're literally pushing and beating on me or something like that,
that's
what I'm referring to. That's what I'm saying no to.
That's just a little. That's a little much.
You can't stay in a relationship that person needs a break and help.
Yeah,
they need a break and get help.
Yeah, get help.
Two things: break, help.
If she beating him, he beating her,
right.
You need a break.
Yeah.
Both of y'all may need to go and get some help because that's not healthy.
Right.
That's not healthy. That's not healthy. If your kids are beating you, that's not healthy.
Right.
No, none of that's healthy. No, that's not a healthy relationship. Because what it'll end up, you'll be sitting, somebody may end up in jail wishing, I wish I had got help.
Right.
And it's not worth it. That's not worth it. Sit up in a jailhouse talking about what I woulda, coulda, shoulda. It's too late then.
Right.
But try and seek help. If you those you may have a pastor, go talk to your pastor and first lady. Ladies, you may not want to talk to the pastor about it. Talk to your first lady. But talk to someone. But talk to somebody to try and see what you can do.
Yes.
In order to keep you from going overboard.
All the way there, yes. Once somebody just mentioned a very good point. Ladies, talk to your sons. Talk to your son. You having sons and you know they have some anger issues. Tell that son that he needs to go get help. Stop pacifying him. Stop, making, acting like you're not seeing that bruise or knowing that wife that he married or the girlfriend he's with or whoever.
Right.
Stop acting as if it's okay or you know how he is or maybe that's just how the men are. No, don't go along with that. Don't accept that. Don't go along with that. Women, you need to talk to your sons. If you know you have a son that is crazy and messing up and abusive, you need to help that wife, help that child, or maybe help the children. Because sometimes there's abusive, children are receiving the blunt of the abuse. True. And the anger, just always mad, and things like that. But children don't even want to. They'll start saying signs and showing signs and showing, hey, this is not what I want to be in, and they'll let you know that they're not comfortable.
That's true. But we have to do what you can in order to try and stay out of so much comfort, be so confrontational with one another. Life is so much better when you don't have all that confrontation.
Yes, it is.
It's so much easier for life. Life by itself is stress.
Yes.
Just getting up in the morning, going out you can realize that there's stress. Most of y'all that go to work and have to go to work, you go to work a lot of time under stress.
Wow.
And it said a man's castle, a woman's castle is a home. A home is a castle. Right. Well, they should come home or be at home with peace. You don't want to have to come fussing and feuding when you hit the door.
Right.
You don't want to have to deal with that type of a thing. You want to because anger can arise and cause you to do and say things
you didn't intend
that you just didn't do.
True. So true. So at some points that we ran into this this iceberg flyer, and it was so it helped me to kind of understand, and it'll help you if you go on our website or go on our Facebook page where we post this iceberg. Now, we all know that an iceberg, you're only seeing the top tip of the iceberg, but you're not seeing the large clump underneath the water. The water's here. You're seeing just a little bit sticking up, just like the Titanic that hit the iceberg. And maybe that captain only saw just the top of it, the tip of it, but it was a large conglomerate of ice that was underneath the water that was hiding. So the water level is basically, it's basically dividing your smile, your look, your disposition, your attitude, your behavior, okay? So the level of water, we can smile, get on there and smile. Hello. We're just the perfect little couple that had 40 years and, it's going to be all good. But no, we're telling you what happened underneath that, underneath the waters that was not seen. So some of the things that we saw that was really amazing that helped us to understand how anger is played out. Anger is played out in different forms, in different ways. So you may see, I may see, or experience or feel the anger, but really what that person is telling you, they're telling you, I'm hurt. I'm hurt. Right now, I'm hurt. And it could be about something that happened when they were a child. It could be about something that happened in a last relationship.
Yeah.
It could be about the way their mother, if it's a little child. It could be the way their moms treated them, their dad, or maybe things that they can't have that the little Billy has, little Bobby has. They got nice shoes, but they can't have that. So they're hurt, or they're offended, or they're worried, or they're feeling rejected. All these signs or symbols. And maybe what you're seeing is an angry person. Oh, this is just an angry, mad person. I don't know why they're so angry. Well, it could be offense, anger. It could be grief or worry, or it could be rejection. It could be insecurity. Oh my God. If we would learn to just admit some stuff. Just admit it. Admit, you know what? I'm insecure about this or that. And just say that. If you're insecure about a thing, it needs to be, wait to the right timing, and you need to discuss your insecurities. You need to discuss it.
Yes, and that's just, it may be something like I said, offended about something.
Yeah.
Talk
Guilt.
about it. Have guilt about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. It's okay. You may feel like you've been rejected. Talk about it.
Disrespected.
Yes, you feel you've been disrespected. Wow. Talk about these things. There's something to talk about.
Yes.
And you don't have to talk about it being angry.
Right. Don't wait till you're angry.
You don't wait till you be angry to talk about it, because when you say that, even the scripture said a soft answer turns away wrath.
Yes.
A soft answer. So soft word. Harsh word stirs up anger.
Yeah, that's right.
So in using hard words, blah, 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 and rolling your neck and rolling your head and all this kind of stuff.
Who does that?
Lord have mercy. I'm just
saying. I don't do that.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
It stirs up anger.
Right.
But if you can use a soft tone, let's just talk about it softly. Don't have to holler and yell at each other.
Right.
No, you don't have to use all of that, because sometimes what happens all depends on who you deal with. If you go to yelling, the other person gonna go to yelling.
Remember last week's tip that we said, if they start yelling, you start bringing it down.
Yeah.
Start doing a whisper. Whisper. When they start yelling, you start whispering.
Oh, Miss Obama said, when they go high,
you go low.
You go low. Thank you, Miss Obama.
Yes.
So and that way you can keep out the riffraff that want to come in there to destroy.
That's it.
Because there's always something to come in to try and destroy what you have.
Right.
Your family, or your friendship with somebody, or whatever the case may be. Always something that comes in there to try and destroy that.
Yes.
But your job, that's why if you're not on a 9 to 5, you still have a job.
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
You still have a job. Trying to keep it together. That's a job.
That's a job.
Just trying to keep it together every day.
And a lot of people are stressed now because they're babysitting and working from home, and you have to watch little Billy or Johnny because the schools are closed.
Mamas, bless your heart. May God help you.
That's stress.
I mean, yes. I mean, nowadays, you're right. Now they got to do, especially those at school, at work, at home.
Right.
Homeschooling. You was doing good when they can go to school and be gone 8 hours. That was just a breath of fresh air for you. But now you wake up in the morning,
you're with them all day. They're hungry. They want to be with their friends.
Yes.
They're tired of being in the house. I don't understand this work. Come read this. And you're busy. You're trying to work yourself.
Yeah.
You're working from home and trying to get it, get your 9 hours in, 8 hours in. And you're trying to do it. So this may make you feel depressed, overwhelmed, stressed, disgruntled,
all that.
grumpy. It may make you feel, what else? Let's see, shameful, frustrated, embarrassed, scared,
all of that,
distrusted.
Wow.
All of these are clues that anger may be the thing that they're displaying or playing out, but those are some of the ways that they really may be feeling. So sometimes you need to say, I see you're overwhelmed. I know you're overwhelmed. If you know your sister or your brother or your niece or your nephew, if you know that they're overwhelmed right now, if you know that they got children and they're all trying to do homeschooling and they're arguing, somebody need to get off the computer because my thing is just spinning. My little wheel is just spinning and spinning. Maybe relieve your sister or brother. Give them a break. Go do something to help give them a relief.
Right.
That will help them. You may add years to their life by you just stepping in and giving them a little break. Maybe stop some McDonald's by there or do something so she won't have to cook dinner and do her job and work and things. Because life is really stressful right now.
Yes, it
right
is.
Through in here.
Much more than this time last year.
Yes.
Life of people, for everybody, is much more stressful.
So true.
It's much more stressful. So let's try and do all we can not to add to someone's stress.
Right.
What can I do that I don't add to your stress, to different one's stress? Because stress can be a killer.
Yes.
Stress can be a killer, and we want to do all that we can to try and be less stressful to one another. Wow. Whether at home, at church, or whatever the case may be, let's try and be less stressful to one another. But if you are dealing with it, try and be gentle with explaining.
So one other fruit of the Spirit needs to, well, several of them, not just
yes.
love, number one.
Right.
Love is going to make you do this, okay? Joy, you want joy in the house. You want joy in your atmosphere. You don't want to be in a unpleasing, a frustrated. So long suffering, you have to deal with people. And if you don't deal with them, you're passing them on to somebody else. You're passing them on to society. If he doesn't deal with me through my things that I do, if I don't deal with him, I'm passing him on to another woman to have to deal with, and the woman says, "Oh, I'll take care of it. I'll take care of that." Yeah, but then when that time comes, another man says, "Oh yeah, I'll take that. I'll deal with that." But when that crazy comes, when that sadness, overwhelmness, and that frustration, or that maybe depression or whatever may come on that person, then how are you going to handle that? So many times people they think about the physical. They just want a man, or they just want a woman, or they just want the sex part, True. But they're not thinking about the maintenance that goes along with the relationship. Oh, there's a big maintenance agreement that you need to sign when you say I do.
There's maintenance.
Woo, there's maintenance. Even with your children, there's maintenance. On that job, there's maintenance. At church, there's maintenance. You have to learn how to work things out. You got to work with people. You have to contend with them. You have to know who you're dealing with. Know their buttons. Know them. The Bible says, know them that labor among you.
That's right.
So if I know that this upsets Sister Barbecue, don't come in there doing it.
I want pork sauce on it.
Right, absolutely. Put it on the side. Let them dip into it. If we know it, and we got to learn to know one another. Learn the trigger points. Learn the trigger points.
And you have to be able, once you know your trigger, you got to be able to control yourself.
You do it.
You got to control you.
God's not going to come down from heaven and then stop this and da-da-da. No, you're going to have to shut that mouth. We were talking about the fruit of the Spirit. Temperance.
Yes.
Temperance. That means self-control. Self-control. I got to do it. I have to control myself. Now, that we talked about last week, we said we know that anger has a price tag on it because some of you are getting along with people at work that you wouldn't let that pass when you got home. You wouldn't let, I ain't let my mom have that. I'm not letting my cousin have that. My child ain't getting away. My husband ain't getting away with this or that. But you're dealing with it at work. You're tolerating at work. Why? Because you're getting a paycheck.
Right.
And you're getting the benefits. So, therefore, that's letting me know, and that's letting Pastor know, hey, you putting a price tag on your anger. If you can tolerate it at work, you need to come home and act the same way. Tone it down at home. Tone it down. Tone it down. If you need to go to bed early, go to bed early. Get you some rest. Do what you need to do because you're smiling and chinning and grinning while you're at work. But when you come to church, you got all attitude. Because I ain't getting paid here. They better be glad I'm coming. Well, no, go on to that other church. Go on. Because life's too short. Especially now with coronavirus killing folks and, all these other diseases, or you get shot or something. No, go be happy. Stop it. Stop staying there and being miserable, making everybody around you miserable, making everybody walk on like they're on eggshells when they're around you. They just don't know really how to say it, what to say. We need to stop that. Stop it. If I can handle my attitude and not be mad and cranky and throw things around at work because I want that check,
right?
I can do it in church. I can do it at home. And I can do it with my children. And I can do it with my family. I can. You can. Say that. I can do this. I can do it.
And it's something strange. Let's look at, we're dealing with the virus, the coronavirus now. It's something that they tell everybody that come to the store,
right?
You have to wear a mask. Why would you go to the store without a mask and get mad at the people for telling you you can't come in?
Yeah, they are. They're fighting.
And your anger, you allow your anger to take control. But before you left home, you done heard this on the news. You already know you can't go in the store without a mask. Yeah. So you will go there, and what you're saying, I'm coming looking for a fight.
Right.
You go looking for a fight, a reason to be angry, because you recognize that they're going to tell me to leave the store or don't come in.
Right.
But when you want to do the thing, when you want to line up with what's going on, you wear a mask. Because you know that's what you have to do. Sometimes we be at work, they tell you at work, you got to wear a mask, you wear a mask.
Yeah.
But you do what you have to do. Right. So with dealing with your anger, you do what you have to do in order to help control your anger.
Peace, yes.
Peace of mind is more valuable than a dollar bill.
Yes, it is.
Peace of mind
sure is
much more valuable than a dollar bill. And to have love is much more valuable than having hate.
Yes.
It's less stressful.
Yeah. What we really need to do is to work on 2 fruit. Let's focus on 2 fruit for the next week. Work on gentleness and self-control. Self-control. You know, I was talking to my dad. I was just saying, and he said, you need to have self-control over that matter. It was some matter that we were talking about. He said, you need self-control over that. You can't. You got to control it. So I'm gonna give that to you as an assignment for the week. Watch the self-control and the gentleness. Yes. You know, like you had just said, a soft answer. It turns away wrath. So if you don't want your head shot off or to be slapped or beat on or pushed through a wall or whatever, you know, give a soft answer. Stop giving harsh remarks and words, and I know you can do it because you're doing it at work.
Yes.
You know, you haven't gotten fired off that job, and for those who did get fired off, you got another one, and you're not doing it on that one, you know, and until you get upset, and then you get on that one, and then you're all this hopping and things, but you can do it.
Yeah.
You can do it. You can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you.
You control you.
You can do that.
You have to control yourself.
God's going to help you, but you got to want to.
Yes.
You got to do it. Faith without works is dead. You got to have I believe I can do this. I believe, God, if I'm asking you, I'm lacking in this area, and I need you to help me to control, to roll it back, to reel it back so that I won't hurt anybody, because hurt people will hurt other people.
Yes, they will. Yes,
and then when you hurt other people, you're hurting yourselves. Because if you have any humanness in your heart, you're sitting there saying, wow, I really didn't want to, you know, can we talk again? Can we mend the gap? You know, because eventually when you come to yourself, you know, when you finally come to yourself and realize, wow, I really hurt this person, you will realize that you've done something that was not pleasing and it was not good. And you feel bad about that. You do. You feel bad about that. So these are things that we want you to work on. We're working on it. I'm working on it. Everybody has to work on themselves. Sweep around your own front door before you try to write me, call me, and you need this, you need that. Well, we all got some area where we need, right?
Right.
Sweep around our own front door. Before you try to sweep around mine.
Well, it's why you can't cure. Now, we're not talking, this is not going to be a cure for your anger, because anger may come today and you get over it and you move on. Not to say it's not coming back.
Right.
No, we're not talking, it's not coming. We're not talking, but we're talking about managing the intensity and the effect it has upon you. Hear that again.
Yes.
You can manage the intensity and the effect that anger has on you.
Wow.
How intense are you going to allow the anger that has come to your mind to affect things around you?
Wow.
What are you going to do? Are you going to allow that anger that you have for a moment to destroy everything?
Everything works.
People will go through the house and tear up the whole house. Work like a dog all your life to get that new little old bitty dresser sitting over there. Worked on and to get all this stuff. And then you'll come in there with anger. Can cause you to tear up everything in your house.
That sure can.
My God. Sometimes my wife would we're talking about the car. Our car. Her running into my car. That we worked hard to get. But that's the stuff you have to stop and think before you go to ram it
into other cars.
Stop and think first.
Yes.
Wait a minute.
Think.
We sacrificed to get these cars.
That's right.
We made sacrifices.
Yeah,
we have to stop and think.
Yes.
That's where you got to think. Now, am I going to be crazy enough to tear up what I sacrificed so hard to get?
Now you got to pay for the damage to get that back on the road.
Right. And that's the money you could have been doing something else with.
Now you got going on a vacation like you need to.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's what we have to think.
Yes.
Don't allow your anger to take over your thoughts.
Right.
Because if it take over your thoughts, you're going to do stuff that you really didn't intend on doing.
Didn't intend to do.
I didn't intend to do that.
Right. I didn't.
But it just happened.
Right.
But if you had to stop and thought before you did react.
Right. Stop blaming it on. That's how my mom was. Stop that. Lord. Stop that. Stop that. That's how my auntie, my grandmama always did that. Well, you don't have to do it.
Right.
You don't have to be like that. That may be how she was, or that may be how he was. But that doesn't have to be how you are.
It don't
you must change. You know, that's what God will give you the strength to change.
Yes, you change.
Ask him, Lord, give me the strength to change. I don't want to be like this. I don't want change me. Help me to change from my ways and my anger and my attitude and my mouthiness, Lord. I don't want to be like this. And I promise you, he will help you to change. Change.
Some of you may be wondering, why my husband, he doing it? He get tired of you being angry and fussing all the time. Thank you, Sister Taylor.
That's right. That's right.
He said, it's better for a man, it's better to be on the rooftop than the
corner of the roof.
With an angry man or an angry woman.
That's right. That's it.
The woman would rather be on the rooftop than dealing with an angry, moody man all the time.
Every night he coming home mad and angry.
Mad every day. And just mad. What happened?
Mad at life.
No. You can't be like, yes, we get angry. Yes, things happen.
Let it
but
go.
Not every day.
No.
Every day you got an attitude, something wrong.
Get help.
Get help.
Please get help.
Go get help. And it's okay to go get help.
Right.
One thing when only somebody know what goes on inside your door is they won't know what's happening if you don't go tell it.
That's right.
If you decide to go get some help, that don't mean you got to go down. We told you we went one time. We went.
Yeah.
But that's what we want to let you know that go get help if you need to get help. If you need to go get professional help, yes we did. Yes we did. Go get it.
Yes.
It's better to go get professional help than for us to be here destroying one another.
Right.
It's better for you to be able to go get some help other than destroying what you built up.
Get help, yes.
Go get help if you need to get help.
You do.
Yes, you can go get help, and it's okay. And I'm embarrassed to go to a psychiatrist. They're gonna think I'm crazy. They're gonna think something about you anyway.
And they may be getting help themselves.
They might be very one up in there
getting help themselves. You know,
they an hour before you got there. They was already
they just left their doctor. Yeah,
they just left because they realized
stressful.
Go get help.
Yeah,
if you need to go get help.
Yes,
go get help. If you're just talking to your pastor or somebody,
right? Your pastors for your spiritual help. Because some of us really need that mental relief. And it's okay to say it. We're not saying you're crazy or you're messed up. We're just saying you just need a relief valve. Opened up a little bit. Had I got some help before, I got to the point where we starting problems and in the street fighting and hurting other people and things like that. I may not have had to go through all of that. So we're recommending to you, we're suggesting to you to get help. And it's okay. It's okay. It is okay to get help. Yes. It shows a sign of strength, actually.
It does.
It's a sign of strength because you thought enough of yourself. Those that are around you, you thought enough of yourself to say, you know what? Enough is enough.
That's right.
I'm not going to be like this anymore. I'm tired of being like this. I'm tired of feeling this way on the inside. and
right.
I'm going to get something changed.
And I don't like me like this no more. I don't have to be like this. I'm better than this.
Yes.
I'm better than this.
I'm better than this.
Go get help. If you need to seek help from whoever, go seek help.
Get it.
It don't mean you got to go and advertise and put a sign on. I went and got help. Oh, so they're going to say I'm crazy. No, go do what you do, and you don't have to say nothing to nobody. They won't know if you don't go to running your mouth.
That's it. Right.
Wife, shut up. Husband, shut up. Go do what you got to do to get help that you can be better.
That's it.
Because what you realize is what you're dealing with somewhere down the road, which we are finding out today, what we dealt with, we're going to have to put it out there to help somebody else.
That's it, yeah.
So, but if we hadn't never dealt with some of the stuff we dealt, we couldn't come and tell you.
In other words, some of us are muting. You're muting your pain, and which results to anger.
Yes.
You're muting it. I'm just not going to say nothing. I'm just going to keep on working. I'm just going to keep praying.
Yes.
Lord, help me. Help me, Lord, help me. Yeah, but you prayed and you haven't changed. The way we know you're helped is that you're going to change. Okay, we're saying that to Facebook and to Instagram. Change tells me that prayer was enough. Yes. Some of us, we need prayer and counseling and psychiatry, maybe some pills to calm us down or something. Something.
Help you, get help.
It's the truth.
At the end of the day, get help.
You need help.
Yes.
You need help. So do what you need to do so that God can help you.
Yes.
There's thoughts, there's creativity, there's productivity that is not being shown because you're masking it with your anger.
Right.
It's just like those masks that we were having to wear in the grocery store, and now they're handing them to you. If you don't come in there with it, they'll hand you one. So it's like you're masking your pain, but you're needing to get it controlled, and you needed to get it managed.
Yes.
Manage it. You deal with it. You deal with it. And encourage your spouse. Don't send them. Go with them.
Go with them.
I'll go with you, baby. Let's go. You need to go. No, let's go.
That's right.
They need that company. That's right. Eventually they'll be strong enough to go on their own. Maybe.
That's the case,
Maybe.
Maybe it is the case that both of you all need to go because really it's both of y'all's problem.
Yeah, it is.
He is both of you all's problem.
Even if it's the child. If you and your child.
Whatever the case may be.
Because it's a thing called codependency.
Yeah. You seek the help to get help.
You're feeding into that. Yes. You're feeding that person. You're milking that. You're feeding them. They're depending on you, and sometimes people get crutches, and you need to go as well so that you can know how to handle what that person is going through. It will help you as well, and you'll have more happiness and peace.
Yes.
So look at the attachment that we put on line,
yes.
And we do not own the rights to the song. We don't own the rights, They muted us earlier because of the songs, but that's okay. We said we'll turn it off. We'll just talk because we wanted you to get this word. We wanted you to know that somebody loves you. We love you enough to share some of our pain.
Yes,
we love you enough to share some of the things we've gone through.
Yes.
Life has not been perfect for 40 years. It's been real.
Right.
It's been real, but we hung in there. We stayed with each other. We forgave one another. We kept enduring. We kept enduring one another. And God, He's in the mix, and He's into it, and He's helping us, and He's going to help you too.
He will.
But we had to get help. We had to get help.
Go seek for help. If you need to get help, go get help.
Yes.
And it's okay.
It is okay.
Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. I tell you, it's been another fabulous night that we've come on. We thank you all of you all that are listening and looking and watching us. We appreciate you all. We thank God for you. If you need to get help, go seek help. Don't be a Superman. Don't be Wonder Woman.
Yes. That's good.
Go get help.
Get help.
Go get help. Call for Batman and Robin.
That's right. Call for backup. Call for backup.
Call for Iceman. Call for backup. Call the Iron Man.
That's it.
Call backup.
Right.
Call for backup if you need.
Get you some help.
Get help.
And God, watch how God changes that relationship. It can become more beautiful.
Yeah.
And you know what? You may be ending something that you wish you had not have ended. because you put a permanent decision on a temporary pain and emotion.
And you'll be saying, wow, if I had did this a long time ago, wonder how things would be for me. I'm sure they would be better if I just had did this a long time ago.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you all again for watching.
That's it. That's enough for that.
So, time flies when you're having fun.
This is our 14th session, honey. Number 14. So if you want to partner with us, we would love to have you. We thank you to all of our partners. We thank you to those that we're counseling one-on-one. We do that as well. Please visit our website and it'll give you more information. www.swaniganinspiration.com. And we say thank you and have a great night because it's Monday. We made it here and we're going to make it all the way. Comment and let us know what other comments and what other sessions you would like for us to talk about so that we can be a help on next week.
All right.
God bless you.
Take care and bless. Love you all.
Don't worry. Be happy.
Be happy.